Yalla!
Bravo is being attacked!
Hello and welcome to this Warno 1v1 game played on Airport Duel. Today we've got BBC presenter playing 101st US Airborne going up against 79Y played by Laggin Dragon with a tank emoji. He's playing a tank division, so that all makes sense. BBC presenter is playing as NATO division, so that makes sense too. So we'll go through the deck reviews, then we'll cover the map and the matchup, then the deployment, and then the game. And as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so this is the deck review for Laggin Dragon. He's playing 79Y, a very strong division, strong for a few reasons, which we'll get into. And yeah, we'll go through this tab by tab. So first tab, basically, this division you get quite a bit of artillery and quite a lot of tanks. And so you need 3 cards of supply, really, so you can heal up your artillery. Heal up your tanks and keep your artillery firing. Just heal up everybody. This division wants games to go late, so it wants to have those 3 cards of supply so it can keep people fighting for the whole game. In terms of your supply options, yeah, this is basically the normal way of doing it, so you get this for armoured supply, and it's cheap. Sometimes you'll only have 25 points left over after buying all your other stuff. Then you just buy this, get that supply there. This is sort of the bread and butter one. This is the one you buy as much as possible because it's cost efficient, and it doesn't matter too much if it dies. Whereas this one is basically you put this behind the lines, and then you ferry these to and from this one. You don't really want this one at the front because it will die, and you only get 3 of them. It carries 2,000 supply. One thing to note is every supply card in the game gets 6,000 supply. It didn't used to be that way. These bigger, more efficient ones used to carry more supply than the other ones, but it's not the case anymore. And then for CV options, your choices are this, which is really cheap, but you only get 2 of them. This, which you just shouldn't bring. The issue with helicopter CVs, right, is that they're very easily spotted, and then they've got to land on the zone to cap it, at which point, the bomber comes in, the artillery comes in, and they're not very survivable because they're helicopters, and it's also 2 availability. So really, your main choices are between these 2, and between them, the wheeled one is wheeled, right, and the armoured one is more armoured. I prefer the wheeled one, but I mean the armoured one is cheaper. So I do prefer the wheeled one, but 95 points is quite expensive. Inf tab, so basically the idea behind this division is you spam BMP2s, you spam T80 BVs, and then you aim for the late game after a reasonably powerful early game because you get airborne forward deployment. But basically the idea is you want to spam BMP2s. So only having 3 cards of BMP2s, it's not BMP2 spam. We'll have a look if we can try and find 3 points here somewhere. But basically, yeah, so, the BMP2D is better. It loses amphibious, but it's got more side armor and more rear armor, which makes it better. And it used to be exclusive to this division, but they also gave it to 56Y. 56Y is completely broken, but this isn't a 56Y video. So, between these Motostrelkies, these guys are 35 points and have access to the better BMP2s. So you want to be bringing both cards of those at 1 vet. You want your BMP2s at 1 vet. And then we've got some regular BMP2 guys. Yeah. And then Saperi RPO. I actually think this is a pretty decent squad. Another thing you can do is bring poor Machiki instead of the regular BMP2s. They are more points and you get fewer of them, but their anti-infantry capacity is good. I've also seen people bring these in wheeled transports. But yeah, you want as many BMP2s as possible. Yeah, this is good. I'd recommend bringing it in a BTR 60PB because this is a pretty decent vehicle. And then a grenade launcher, which can work, for defensive stuff, but honestly I'd say you don't get enough... I would suggest you don't get enough infantry to be bringing this, but it is very useful. Yeah, artillery. So these are 1 point slots, right? And so what you can do is start filling these up and upvet this. But basically 2 Akatsias and a Grad. The Grad is good, particularly in longer games. This is pretty decent. People really need to use this a bit more in 1v1, I think. But yeah, to Akatsia's, but then there's no mortars for smoke. I really like having mortars for smoke. It's just my playstyle. I like smoking. I think it's extremely effective, extremely underutilized because it's hard to do. You can always smoke with the Akatsias in a pinch, but I like mortars for smoke. Tank tabs, so lots of T80 BVs here. The advantage of 79Y is it gets this one, and this one is better than this one because it's got a better ATGM, and it's faster. And the ATGM's tandem, so it does +1 damage to ERA. Makes it pretty effective. The main advantage is that it gets like a free rank of veterancy, so you get 3 at 1 vet and 2 at 2 vet. What you could do, given that, you know, there's a lot of tanks here, is... that was my alarm. Down vet these by 1 to get 2 more tanks, and then get rid of this, and now you've got 2 more points. And those 2 points, I guess, still can't go here, but... yeah, you could theoretically, you know, up vet this, and get a mortar for smoke. I just think there's too many tanks here. I mean, obviously, if you go in late game, then it can be useful, right? But there are a lot of tanks here. And then the BRDM2 Conkers is useful because you can send it around the sides. It fires Conkers. It is pretty useful. And this thing is good as well. This was recently added in the patch. So 39Y loses another thing that makes it better than 79Y. 39Y is just bad now, basically. No, well, it's not bad in isolation, but there's no reason to play it while this div exists and keeps getting its fancy toys. So this thing has got a very nice long-range missile. I would admit you can sort of get away with not bringing it on this div because you've got reasonably long-range missiles on this, but it is always nice to have a max-range missile. Recon tab, so this is Airborne Forward Deployment, Spetsnaz GRU. This helps you get into places at the start. Then these guys have the Razvedka BMP2. And yeah, you bring it at 1 vet because you've got plenty more BMP2s in here. And this is so good, right, because it's got its own optics. It starts further forwards, and it's got mediocre stealth. That's something people don't realise. And that means that it can shoot you and you won't be able to see it. Unless you've got your own recon looking back. Depending on what you've got there, you won't actually be able to see this as it kills you, which is what makes it so powerful. Then Razvedka Saperi, so I'd be tempted to bet these by 1 as well. So you can actually use them. Then this thing's really good because you put it with your tanks. Basically, you click this, Shift F, and you click on your tank. And it'll follow your tank around and give it exceptional optics. No recon helicopters, very sad. I suppose you sort of need the infantry because there's only 5 cards of infantry here. Yeah, no recon because this thing is really good. But yeah, these slots are expensive. AA tab, so 8 Tunguskas is really something. I don't think you need 8 Tunguskas. Iglas can be decent. Well, I mean, yeah, I like manpads, I like cubs, right? 8 Tunguskas is too much, really. I'd be tempted to bring two vet Osas for your opener. Or, you know, this upvetted. But yeah, if you want Tunguskas, I think 4 is probably enough. There you go, now you've got 3 points. And now you can get some more BMP2s. Right? So that's how we got there. We got rid of some... We down-vetted these so we could get rid of a tank card, and we got rid of some Tunguskas. Helis, so... This is an AT heli. This is an AT heli with a better gun. It costs more. It's got 10% ECM. It's got fewer Kokons, but it's got more dumbfire rockets. And this is the same one. The Rocket 2 is the good one. That's not here, so yeah, I agree with bringing these. Air tab, so this MiG is absolutely cracked, because it's got these missiles, which are fire and forget. So even though the range isn't as good, they're fire and forget. Which means that they, you'll get 2 of these off before the merge, which means you get 3 missiles off before the merge. The merge is when the planes pass each other. You'll get 3 missiles off on them before the merge, and if they're like a regular MiG-29, they'll only get 2 off on you. So yeah, this thing's crazy. It's really good. And he's brought additional fighters. So yeah, this has been re-rolled as like a shotgun plane now. It fires 2 missiles at once. I'll be honest, I think the shotgun plane concept's kind of dumb. Somebody explained this to me. They said, look, instead of making them both fire at once and you can't really see what's going on, why not just make one fire twice as fast? Or, make this aim... Well, make it so this one fires, then this one fires, right? So it's like ripple as opposed to all at once. Maybe ripple means all at once. Anyway, cluster plane. This thing's really good, exclusive to this division, but it's a high altitude bomber, so they've got 9 seconds to get out of the way. And then this thing's decent, but then you've not got any seed. Like how much do you fear helicopters? If you've got Tunguskas, right, you shouldn't fear helicopters that much. At which point you can get rid of this and get the seed plane. Basically, this division has a lot of cool tools, and so this is really good as well. And this isn't too shabby. This is really good because you get 3 in a card, and it goes so slow that you can just go and something like that, and and really mess people up. This is really good because you use this against helicopters because of the gun and the seed missiles and the high ECM. So I think you can get away with not bringing this and bring this instead. And this is your Helo Hunter if you desperately need it. But generally you rely on your Tunguskas or your Strellas or your Osas, your Iglas, and you've got the Cubs. So that's how I'd improve that. Just to give you an extra card of infantry, because I feel like there's not enough infantry here. And, how many tanks do you... Well, we still have the same number of tanks, it's just we've lost a veterancy on these. But these are better than this anyway. Basically, you want to buy... So this is... This can survive 2 TOW2s. Somebody told me that recently. And this can't. But this can be purchased at 1 a minute because it's 250. Basically, you want to save up for these, and if you need the tank desperately, you buy these. And this should be the last one you purchase, which is why I got rid of the T-80BVs and replaced it with more of these, basically. Additional veterancy makes you more accurate, but it does not increase your rate of fire. Even though it says it's increasing the reload time here, that's the reload time once it's fired 34 rounds. This has an auto-loader, which means that as the cohesion goes down, the gun will fire at the same rate. And the rate of fire doesn't go up with veterancy. So they don't... you got to bring them at 1 vet, but there's not really much point in bringing them at 2 vet. So that's it for that review. Switching to his opponent, we've got 101st Airborne, played by BBC presenter, and so we got 12 supply goats. Well, let's talk a bit about the division in general first. So this division, people keep saying is really weak, and it's just not. It's just not. But if you play it wrong, then you're going to lose, right? And I'm seeing some room for improvement, which is always good, because it gives me something to talk about. So, 2 cards of supply you can sort of get away with on this division, because you don't have that many tanks to repair, and you don't have, you don't have that many tanks to repair, and you don't have that much artillery. So 2 cards of supply can make sense. Between them, this one is... so this is 20 points for only 300 supply, whereas this is 25 for 500. They've got the same amount total in the card, and you can sell them, but basically this one's better. This one used to be better because you could bring it with like 20 Chinooks and just fly the Chinooks around. In 1v1 that's not too useful, although it can do a lot. But in 10v10 it's quite useful. And then between these two, this is a more cost-efficient version of this. If you lose it, obviously you're going to be more upset, but like 2 of these for 2,000 supply is 90, whereas this is 65. Then this is like 3 per card. I could have sworn it used to be 2, man. I know the Airborne forward deployed version's 2, but I could have sworn the other ones used to be 2 as well. And anyway, now it's 3, so it's really good. This is 3, but it just gets killed. I mean, it's got 4 HP, it's just going to get killed. And this is 2, and it's a helicopter. So this is the best one. You bring 2 cards of that if you need more CVs. So, in the infantry tab, yeah, you can afford to, like, 2-vet a lot of your things here. So, okay, so he's got a lot of, Okay, so 3 CV cards is sort of normal, right? What I would say is, I'm skipping ahead here. No, we'll come back to it. So aero engineers, you know, they've got the satchels. Flash isn't that useful anymore. This doesn't even get flash. Flash is like it's that thing Arnold uses in the Terminator, where he's like, "I'll be back," and then he fires those 4 tubes of napalm at somebody. That's what happens. And yeah, so aero engineers at 2 vet, that's fair enough because you get so many units and they're coming at 1 vet basically for free. So yeah, that's sensible. Then you've got Aero Fire Team AT4. 5 men with AT4s. I don't really know if this is so useful. I'd be much more tempted to bring either this at 2 vet or these are 9 men. Okay, or these guys. These guys are good because of the recoilless rifle, and they're still 5 men. Right? They've not got an AT4, but they've got this, which can shoot at infantry, and it's got a longer range than the AT4. And yeah, so you get 6 of them, and you just use them to spam out recoilless rifle. And when you're fighting in a town, you just make sure one of these guys is there, and you get the military police. I think this is much more useful than this. So let's just pop that in. Then aero rifles Dragon, which we just spoke about, right? So Dragon 2, they're useful, right? And he's bringing them at 2 vet. You can afford to do that on this div, really. Then air rifles AT4. So these guys have 13 men, and you want as many of them as possible. They only come in the Chinooks. I mean, you only lose 2 availability to bring them at 2 vet, so that's fair enough, really. Then we've got a CV here with smoke, and this is a CV which is just a chunky boy, but it arrives in a helicopter. I'd be getting rid of this, to tell you the truth, for reasons we'll get into. And right, that leaves you 1 point. You can bring this is actually pretty useful. Right? Or you can bring these guys. These guys, the machine guns up vetted. Or you can bring, you know, more air rifles, Dragon, right, whoops. Or whatever you want. Or you could just leave it empty, right? Maybe it'll come in handy later. But yeah, let's... Did I already... Oh, yeah, so he's already bringing a card of these, so you don't need 2 cards of those. My bad. So, like, these guys are 3 availability, whereas these are 2. They've got more strength and smoke, so it can be useful. And if you've got 3 cards of CVs anyway, you don't need to bring the 3 availability one, especially given that this is a 3 availability one. But yeah, I'd be tempted to get rid of those CVs and instead bring some more aero rifle dragons. And it's a shame you don't get 2 cards of these guys. Interesting. Is there another 1 point? No, there isn't. Okay. Okay. So yeah, another card of these. I actually really like these. I mean, to be honest, it is really slow off-road, so you can't really sneak them around. But the issue this division has is that it doesn't have much direct fire support, although we'll get to that. We will get to that. So yeah, if it's got to be the Inf tab, yeah, I don't know, maybe some more aero engineers. I kind of like this for the direct fire support, because you do kind of need it, because you don't have any IFVs. The alternative is to bring a second car. Why do they look different? Oh, this is the 50 cal one. Right, so I did a guide where I said the 50 cal one was the best, and then they changed it, and now it's the worst. Between the NMGs, the 50 cals, and the AGLs, the 50 cals are now the worst. Because this is half the price, it's got 4 HP, which it didn't used to have. So they've got the same HP, it's half the price, and it's got, you know, 50% more availability, right? So, like, why bring 5 of these when you can bring 8 of these? And they've got the same HP, right? They lose a little bit of range. So these are, yeah, replace that. 2 teams of TOW 2, okay, but you might run out of infantry, you know. You might run out of infantry. Especially, oh, you've got 10 here, but whatever. And then Green Braze ODA, are you buying 3 of these in a game? Basically, Special Forces benefit more from upvetting, and you only lose 1 availability here. And they even go faster, right? It makes them better. It makes them go faster. So I prefer having them at max vet. If it was 4-2, I'd leave it at 2 vet, but it's 3-2, so I think you can get away with it. And anyway, Green Braze leader in the Lance Chinook. The happy to see you Chinook. Is that a calculator in your pocket, Chinook? and yeah, this is a decent squad. I mean, it's quite survivable. So yeah, it's good. Anyway, so we spoke about this, right? You can get rid of this if you want and just bring more air rifles dragon or something, or we can try and find some points later to make something happen. RT tab, so 155 millimeters. Yes, you need these. Don't bring the 105s if you can avoid it. 82nd only gets this one, and it's just not very good. So yeah, you want that. And then 81 millimeters mortars for smoke. So the difference between these two... Oh, they've got the same range. What? That's nonsensical. 5625. No, it is right. I think. I think it's right. Yeah, so if they've got the same range and you just want it for smoke, then you might as well bring the cheaper one that you get more of. Tank tab, so this is... Right, so you don't want to be bringing these at no vet, because they're just going to die. But what you can do, right, is... so, because we got rid of the CV card here, the reason why is that you want this CV. And then you've got two tank... Because this is going to be two anyway. And so for 40 points more, you might as well just bring the CV one. Right, and it's got better optics for some reason. Great. So for 40 points more, you might as well just have the CV capability there all night long, and then you can bring this at Nova if you really want, and you can just try and get one of these near it so it can still fire. Then 2 cards of Humvee Tow 2, so that's 10 ATGMs, plus another 6, which actually isn't that many, so yeah, 16. Okay, fine. Quick maths. Recon tab, so quick fix helicopter is useful because it tanks for your other helicopters. It tanks for your other helicopters. Then so this is where I noticed the mistake, right? So Delta Force. This transport isn't airborne forward deployed. This one, sorry, it is airborne forward deployed, but it's okay because it's done off this guy, not off this. But it's not special forces. This is special forces, right? So you get one of these and you upvet it to max vet. So now you've got 2, right? You lose 2, and that's pretty rough. You lose your grenade launchers, that's pretty rough. This is the fastest vehicle in the game, fastest ground vehicle in the game. Special forces trait makes ground vehicles go faster, not helicopters. It also makes infantry go faster, but not helicopters. And so a special forces max vet goes faster, and this has airborne forward deployment. So this will get there before anybody else. In a 1v1, it'll get there before anybody else in the game. And that is an incredibly powerful tool to have, because this squad is also really strong, and they also benefit from the max vet. So you want but you lose 2, and you lose the grenade launchers, which you kind of need because you don't have tanks and stuff, which is why I like this thing, even though it's not that good. The alternative is you can bring another card of these, right, and then this can be your direct fire support. But yeah, this isn't too shabby. I know it's slow. So you want 2 of these at max vet so that you can get there really, really super duper fast. A lot of it is about map knowledge, right? If you play a lot of games at 101st, you'll know where you can get to before other people. But yeah, this will get there faster than this. And then yeah, you bring the other one at 2 vet with the grenade launcher thing, because that's... like, even if you buy more than 2 at the start, the ones that are supposed to be getting there super duper fast, you could just have one of these behind, right? Do you know what I mean? Then the sniper in the grenade launcher Humvee, I mean, it can work. It can work. I like these guys as well. 13 men. It makes them strong. And they've got ground surveillance radar, but we need 2 points, and this was only 1, right? AA, so chaparrals, I think, are kind of garbage, to tell you the truth. I think you can get away with not having it because you've got 4 eagles, and I just don't think they're that good. So what you do is you get rid of this, and you get a second card of Aero Pivots, right? And if you really want to upvet it, you can. So this div suffers from a lack of direct fire support, as in, how do I shoot the enemy infantry in the building when I'm running towards a building? Really, your only thing is helicopters, and that doesn't work so well. Now, I say now, it's been about 3 months. Ever since these became really good, you just drop one of these in with the push, and you just and it will immediately obliterate any infantry in the building in front of it. So you want as many of these as possible, and I'm willing to sacrifice chaparrals to make it happen. Then with the arrow stingers, like if you only want 5 arrow stingers for the whole game, okay, I mean I'd be tempted to bring 8 instead, and I'd also be tempted to downvet these as well, because you really want as many of these as you can bring. This is your IFV. It's obviously worse than an IFV, right? But this is your pseudo IFV for fighting infantry. So I'd want 14 of those, and I'd downvet this as well, so that I can bring this, which is more direct fire support. And there you go. So you're basically substituting for your lack of IFVs with your AA tab and these grenade launchers. But obviously we lost 2 grenade launchers there, and these mules. Or if you get rid of the mule, you know, maybe you can bring this if you really want that extra range. But yeah, you need that direct fire support, and also you've got this for smoke spamming. And this really isn't a bad div. People seem to think it's a bad div. It's not. Then Helo tab. So this thing people really like. Mine always dies, but if you can get it into a situation where it can shoot, because it's max vet, and special forces doesn't make it go faster, but it does make the veterancy matter more. Because... Right, so look, 16 minus 60 plus 45, 4. That's weird. I'm gonna have to look that up. I think the special forces thing is different for helicopters. It's a different vet curve for helicopters. What? Weird. Anyway, it's very good at hurting people if you can get it in range, but it's kind of difficult to get it in range. But now that all Apaches and everything have 8 HP, like this has got 8 HP as well, so it's become better by comparison. This only has 6, so yeah, hogs just for shooting people. I don't have much success with the little birds because they die in 1 hit to any man-ped, and they've got to get really close to shoot people, which is in IFV autocannon range. And then yeah, Apache ATGM, Apache ATGM. I like the ATAS. I think it's good because it's got ATGMs and it's got smoke. And it's like, do you need 16 Hellfires? Wouldn't you rather have 8 Hellfires and 4 Stingers? So did I say smoke? Like, would you not rather have the Stingers? Are there situations where you're using more than 8 Hellfires before an enemy plane comes and kills you? Do you know what I mean? If you've got the supply behind, you shouldn't really, you know, you shouldn't really be sticking around long enough to shoot 16 Hellfires, in my own humble opinion. So I prefer these. Yeah, and the Apache rocket, I mean, it's a lot cheaper for a reason. Rockets are just not that good. Except against stationary infantry and buildings. And then air tab, so 4 eagles, which is why I said you don't need the chaparrals. And then a bomber, which I agree with. You always want a bomber. What I've seen some people do is swap out an eagle for a phantom, so you've got both. But like this is worse than the eagle. But the eagle's a lot more expensive. Like you can't buy one of these in a minute, but you can buy one of these in a minute, so you can panic buy this. But if you're careful, having 4 eagles is probably better. And then yeah, a bomber is always useful if there's an enemy breakthrough. So that's it for the deck reviews. Then we'll go to the map, talk about the map and the matchup. Then we'll talk about the deployments, and then we'll go to the game. And as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so with that out of the way, let's talk about the map. So Airport, there is a good side. Blue's on the good side. It's the good side because basically, so red, if they have Airborne for deployment at the start, can challenge Elena more successfully than blue can challenge Fedor at the start, assuming that both sides have the same capability, which in this case they don't. Although, look, as you know from the deck review, Hugh Edwards has not taken advantage of his main advantage, which we'll get to in the deployment part. And basically, Anna's a lot easier to defend than Paul. And so red can jump into Elena at the start, which is annoying for blue. But once blue solved that problem, Fedor's a lot easier to attack than Elena, once Elena's been sorted out. Simply because, you know, your reinforcements for blue, they come down here, then they go to this forest, then they go in there. Or better yet, you come down here and you attack this way. Because once you get to here, you can sort of sort this out. You can smoke this, and then you can go from here to here. It's not easy attacking, but Elena's much more difficult to attack past those first few minutes because So red's natural reinforcement road, if you just try and buy things here, will actually take it down this road, which means they're going to get spotted. So you've got to like manually send them back here, which is annoying. And this is also like really open. There's only four blocks of buildings. I suppose 6 building blocks. Four lots of buildings, 6 building blocks, because each of these is 2 buildings. Whatever, you get my point. There's not many places to hide here. So you put people here, you put people behind this house to shoot out of their vehicles, you put people here, but this is a much more easy one to defend. It's also got all the airport control towers. So basically, airport controllers can see further than atheists. So yeah, this is how far like an atheist can see, and this is how far an airport control tower can see. What are they called? Traffic controllers. Yeah. Anyway, and it gets like 3 of them. So red will get this one at the start if they have airborne forward deployment. And otherwise, you've got this one, you've got this one, and blue gets this town as well. And red gets this, and then from this you can shoot people coming down here, which makes it harder to reinforce Elena. And so yeah, that's the map. Talking about the matchup, you'd expect 101st to start winning at the start, but eventually 79Y should just kill him, because he's just got more open ground stuff. He's got more tanks, he's got more IFVs, and this is tank and IFV country. As you know from the deck reviews, blue hasn't brought the... Blue should have superior airborne forward deployment to red for 2 reasons. One is that the Spetsnaz GRU that red gets only comes in a 90 kilometers an hour transport. I think that's the only option for it as well. And so even though it's got airborne forward deployment, this isn't as fast as this. The other thing is that blue, who hasn't actually done this, so I hope he sees this game, although he might sue me for libel, he should have brought one of his Delta Force cards at max vet in the Special Forces Delta Force Humvee, because then it would go even faster, and then he could get here before red. He could get here before red. It's crazy how much better it is at max vet, but you do lose 2 availability and you lose that grenade launcher power, which might help. Having the grenade launchers might help more in the late game. So yeah, we've got so I guess we're already talking about the deployments. Let's talk about the deployments. I don't know how the timestamp's going to work. So we got blue coming in here, and so he's got the sniper back here, which I mean honestly could probably make it to here, but whatever. And then the Delta Force are going all the way in. Behind that, he's got 1 Air Rifles Dragon, and he's got an Eagle to patrol. He's got a dab, and that's dabbing its way over to Elena to shut down any enemy airborne forward deployment. Then you've got a sniper team going to this tower here. So they can see down here, they can see loads of this, so it makes a lot of sense. And a sniper team going here. I mean, this one's better, but whatever. Behind that, I would expect to see... yeah, so there's an ATGM going to this building, this tree patch. If you put it here, it can actually snipe wheeled CVs as they come down here. But yeah, I'm not sure if it can still do it if it's here, because it is tight. It probably still can, there's probably not much difference in it. And then you've got 50 cal, 50 cal, 50 cal. So this, instead of putting it here, you'd want it here, because this is actually classed as a tall building, so it can see further than atheists, right? This shrine to the random tower sticking up out of the ground. I mean, is that a real thing? The factory must be under the ground, but whatever. Yeah, so you'd want it here, really, so you can see more. Then a tow 2 going to this building, so yeah, you can shoot across, etc. Tow 2 going to here. If you're going to put it there, you might as well put it in this building. Or better yet, put it in this building. But yeah, this building is safer than here, because here you can't really retreat, depending on what's shooting you, artillery, whatever. Whereas if you're in this house, you can always fall back, etc. Then we've got a Humvee tow 2 going to here to cover this side, and a CV for Anna. And then, so he's not queued it up. I would queue it, basically you queue it to here, then you queue it to here, then to here, then to there. Otherwise it doesn't cap the zone before it goes through. And then like from here, back to here, down here, up there, and then it will just go sort them out and you don't have to think about it. Switching to his opponent's deployment, we've got Laggin Dragon playing 79Y. So, yeah, this, even though it's airborne forward deployment, it's only a 90 kilometers an hour truck, so it can't get there to places as fast as the Delta Force, even if the Delta Force give up their main advantage. So he's backing up with firepower. So Spetsnaz grew to here, so you can see down there, and then 2 Razvedka BMP2s. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah, so I mean, to be honest, they could afford to like, well, I don't know, yeah, whatever. Um, on the right, we've got a Razvedka Saperi at no vet, as we spoke about in the deck review. So he's unloading this here and sending the thing there. You could do with unloading this here and then sending this there, and then you're actually, because then you could go from here to here and you can actually see things. Behind that, we've got a Tunguska, 2 30mm grenade launchers, and a BRDM2. I guess this is probably because he couldn't afford anything else. Having 2 of those, so 1. Razvedka Saperi on this side, and then the car will come over here. And then a big boy anti-tank gun. I'm surprised he's put it there and not like here, but whatever. I mean, if there are people coming this way, makes sense. And then, yeah, so grenade launcher going into the same building. You don't really want that. So you could put the Razvedka Saperi in here, because this is actually a church. I know it doesn't look like it, and religious people can see further than atheists. They can't see as far as communists, but they can see further than atheists, right? There you go. So religious people, communists, atheists. Religious people, communists, atheists. So, so yeah, this is a good secondary position. Maybe you could put the grenade launcher in here and leave the recon here. But you don't want them both in the same building because one bomber's going to kill them both. And yeah, looks pretty thin on the ground. He might have a fighter. Yeah, let's watch the game. Right, so they're off, and it's time to thank the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. Get the names on the screen, get the videos early, get members exclusive videos. One join at the lowest levels worth 2,000 views. I'm an unemployed PhD student. They stopped paying me, and it's not my fault. It's definitely not because I took too long and the funding ran out, because I was making too many Warno videos. But you should feel bad. You should feel bad for me anyway. At the highest tier, you can get your games cast at a rate of 1 per calendar month. So unless you sign up on the 1st of the month, that's 2 casts guaranteed. And yeah, it's a great way to improve at the game. So that was really smart, actually, opening 2 fighters, because he probably assumed that there'd be an eagle up. So I think that was actually the right play. He could have opened with 2 of the cheaper one instead of, you know, the expensive one. And then, so this is, for example, is 145, this is 215, so that's a 70-point difference, right? This is 55 points, this is 55 points, so that's 110, plus 70 is 180. So you could get 1 BMP2 on one of these instead. Anyway, now there's 2 of these against 2 eagles. Oh, I think he made a bit of a mistake here. He should have just ran off with both of them or fought with both of them. But he got the first hit off there. To be honest, he needs to turn and fight now. And, yeah, so he's fighting over the Tunguska, so that's smart. Tunguska misses, but this thing hits an evacs now. He needs to kill this. So that was actually really good micro. It was a little bit unlucky for Rotherham Citizen that his eagles missed that first volley when he had him. He was behind him. His eagles missed that first volley, but yeah, it goes to show just how effective this plane is, and how generally packed air is better than NATO air, because the eagles, they're very, very expensive, and like one died, right? Or did it get out on like 1 HP or something? I know the second one got out, but like this is no, that was there before. No, that was there before as well. I think maybe they both got out, but yeah, the Eagle, it relies on this, on the ECM, and the best packed missiles go further than the best NATO missiles, which like in that case they both had the same range. Well, actually the MiG-29 had less range. But yeah, it is a bit odd. So ground grenade launcher versus car grenade launcher. You'd expect. Oh, he moved. Okay, I thought he was going to fight that. You would have expected ground grenade launcher to win, I would have thought. But I guess because it's not in a building. If it was in a building, it would have won. This also has a rank of veterancy, which is going to make it better. And this is a 40mm grenade launcher, which makes it better than a 30mm grenade launcher, as you can see from the HE values there. The rate of fire is basically the same, notwithstanding veterancy, and This one deals more HE. So, Razved could be MP2. There were 2 of them, but one of them died to the Humvee, and he really needs to watch out, because he's going to lose his CV now. He loses his CV there. Like, this isn't... You know, you can use the LOS tool, right? It was going for the CV, but... Yeah, that's a big shame. And this used to be in this building, but it's on an attack move order instead of a regular move order, so he's just stood in the open getting shot. So he's changed that up now, but yeah, losing a Razved could be MP2 to that is not fantastic. That's going on the Tunguska. This is not good, because... Oh yeah, this is an approximation, so there is actually a breaker there, it's just not thick enough for it to tell. Anyway, Tunguska versus AGL. Will it see the AGL? That's the main... I mean, there is a recon here. He should be able to see that. He should just right-click this straight away, because that's the only thing that can hurt him. Oh, okay, I guess the dragons can. I mean, that... 65% accuracy on low cohesion, which reduces your accuracy by 75%. So what's 1/4 of 65? It's not a lot. Anyway, so the planes are back up, and I guess he's strafing things, which makes a lot of sense. It's smart to do. This can this could not survive a Dragon 2 hit. The chances of it hitting twice with that low cohesion is very low. So this deals 18 pen, and this has 4 armor. So 18 pen, 1 shot's 4 armor. A way he could get out of that is by reversing, but then he wouldn't be able to shoot anymore because of the way the LOS is. So he could like come out here and then pull back. But then he'd be firing while moving the whole time, which just makes him take longer to die. This grenade launcher really needs to be in this house. And yeah, he needs to strafe it with the jets like he was just doing. It was working. Strafe it with the jets, get it killed. He's run out of Dragon 2s, but this needs to pull back to this building now before it dies. And now the grenade launcher can do the shooting. Really needs to get this out. Okay, so he's just pulling it back here. It's out of range of that, okay. And then, yeah, like this Palmaya can come over, I don't know. Right, so BTR-60PB should beat the grenade launcher if it's, so he's just trying to close the range, I guess. But yeah, I was going to say, if it doesn't move, then it should kill it, because the accuracy would be twice as high, but he's just trying to close the range, I suppose. I'm not sure which idea is better. I probably would have just stood and shot him. Anyway, yeah, because this has more HP and it's armoured, whereas this is literally got... well, it's a Humvee. It's got like... It's either 6 or 4 HP. It's 6, okay. But it's got less than 1 armour, whereas this has 1 armour. So even though the gun is better on this, grenade launcher beats KPVT. KPVT is still quite good. It's the armour and the HP that swung it, right? Yeah, so the game slows down a bit now, which is really good for 79Y. He wants it to sort of slow down, and basically what he needs to do is... sorry, I've got a very itchy eye socket, I guess. What he needs to do is sort this out. So get a unit over to here and then slowly start cleaning all this out. A couple of units, you know, Razved could be MP2, whatever. This will be interesting. So that actually survives, and now he's going to fly over all the AA, so I think he might be dead. He could have waited till it got a bit closer. I guess he doesn't know about the AA because, you know, this is the first time this has happened. It's probably going to die. No, it gets a sort of weird partial hit there. Anyway, for Child Toucher's point of view, he could have, you know, landed this immediately instead of kept going, because then the Razvedka and the BTR-60 killed it. The DAP went down there because it was landed and the Akatsi killed it. It's interesting. What happened to the CV that was here? Well, there's one here, right? So you click this, Shift F, click your artillery, because it's not doing anything, and it'll upvet your artillery by 1, which will give it like minus 20% reload time and a bunch of other things. It's different for artillery than it is for infantry, but gives you like minus... Yeah, so here you go. Oh, that's the transport. You'll see when it unloads. And then it will fire faster. But yeah, basically, Red wants to saturate his front line, right? And then sort this. I get somebody here, and like maybe that anti-tank gun you could put here, and like an infantry unit here, or Razved could be MP2 here would be perfect. Use the infantry in the forest. Use the Razved could be MP2 here, right? And then, you know, what he wants to do next is get this up to here with some AA behind, right? And then you can attack from here to here. It'll take a long time. It'll be very slow and laborious because there's going to be 10 million ATGMs in here. But attacking from here to here, when you've got control of this, is quite... I wouldn't say easy, but it's useful. Because, you know, your spawn takes you to here, and then you can get in here. Then you start using the smoke. So he's preemptively bombing this, but that nobody fired for. Okay, this is smart. So yeah, he's queued up all the orders, so he's just going to hit all the buildings. I would have started with the buildings you know have people in them. But yeah, so he really needs to put this CV with that. But it looks like Hugh Edwards here has he's got his CV, right? He's got his Green Berets ODA. He's got his license fee, and he's going to come around to port. This is switched off because he's worried about seed. But 101st Airborne doesn't get seed. I'm pretty sure it doesn't get seed. I'm like absolutely positive it doesn't. I need to check that. If I'm wrong, send a comment. But I'm pretty sure it doesn't get seed. So that's like a lack of knowledge problem. He could have just left this on. Anyway, he should see this now and he should be reacting. Look, he's bought that there. He sees it. This needs to switch its gun on. Okay, he has. He switched his gun on. And this is why I don't like Tunguskas. Because they're just not that great. An eagle died in the spawn. I just completely missed that. And yeah, like this can fire while moving. Oh dear, looks like they've managed to land there. So yeah, this BMP2 can come round. He's got the recon here. He could send the grenade launcher back, I guess. And yeah, get the Tunguska around here so it can shoot. Like this is probably not going to survive very long. This guy needs to just pull back into this corner. You don't want him leaving the zone because now, you know, if you take more than 100 points of losses, you got to attack for the rest of the game, right? If he's got 100-point advantage on you. So yeah, he's worried about the ranges, which is fair enough, really. So it looks like he'll get back in eventually. But yeah, if this gets to 169, then Red has to attack for the rest of the game, which is not great. He really needs... it's coming for him. I don't know if he can see it. This is just taking ages to align, which it does, really. That is a problem with anti-tank guns. And I would have bought a helicopter. We know he's got 3 helicopters in his deck from the deck review. I would have bought the helicopter. I'm not sure about this. You want to, you know, you don't want to get too close because it's just going to shoot you. Like that is basically the limit of acceptability. He's got the fighter up to make sure there's no air support, and yeah, he needs to fix this right now. So here's the helicopter. Like if this gets to 169, then it, you know, Blue's got a chance of winning basically, because then he can just sit there for the rest of the game. In the meantime, the Acacia, it's taking names. There was a Tow 2 in here, and now there's not. Right? There was a Humvee Tow there, now there's not. So it's getting kills. I guess it's a good point that he didn't swing this round. And you know, like some of these guys, they can rotate round. What you really want to be doing is attacking here while this is going on. You know that he's sent a load of points onto this, so you've got recon, you've got infantry, and you just literally just march this Saperi RPO across here with these T-80Bs and BMP2s behind it and the Razvedka one behind it, like here, and you just march this across, and it, like, you start getting shot by a sniper, you know, you kill him. So Eagles dive in hard into the Tunguska, which, as you can see, like, I just don't find it very good. I mean, it's good against Apaches, right? And yeah, the MiG-23 ML goes down. Now, this guy's probably going to get smacked by an AA piece. He dodges it. And yeah, this is really bad news because he's over 100 points up now. So it's a shame. I guess if he'd reacted a bit faster, like this BMP2 here, while they were coming across, he could have just ran it into them and it would have been shooting as well. The Tunguska could have reacted a little bit faster. Obviously, you know, he's probably looking over here. It's easier for us, right, because we don't have to, you know, see it. We see everything, right? We don't have to play. So here we go. So this should die now, but the damage has been done. But Red, you know, he's got 27 minutes. Right, he's taking really good trades. There's another 406. No, because he got an Eagle, 270. He got an Apache, which is like, now that's an extra 240, so that's 510. Then he got the Green Berets leader, call it 600. It's more like 650. Then he got the other one, which is like 750. He's going to lose his CV, but okay, no, he isn't. And yeah, so that was like a really good trade for Red. And so if he just keeps playing the game, he should be fine. So what he needs to do is, like, yeah, just put a couple units here. It doesn't need to be an overinvestment. Like, these don't really need to be here. The Tunguska there is fine. It does the job. And then you get a BRDM2 Conkers, put it there, or the anti-tank gun, which you've already got. And then all this, you load it back up, you send it over here, and you attack here. Because right now, Red's up on points by a lot. And he's up on points, and he knows he's up on, he should know he's up on points, because he killed a bunch of stuff here, he's been killing stuff here, and the guy goes, ha ha ha, something in Russian, whenever he gets a kill, even if he can't see. It's really dumb. So all this needs to be loaded back up and rotated in. Basically, you need to capitalize when you make, a success. You need to capitalize. So, I mean, that's one way of doing it, but like, you might die here. Okay, Chapar didn't actually shoot, he didn't actually get anything. You need to capitalize. So let's say the income's 250 points a minute, just for ease of maths, right? He's just killed 750 points of units, right? So let's pretend that was all the units, right? So this guy's up 750 and this guy's got 0. I mean, obviously it's not, but just for ease of it, right? 1 minute passes. Now this guy's got 1,000 and that guy's got 250. So it's a 4 times difference, right? Before it was an infinite times difference. Now it's a 4 times difference. After a few minutes, this guy will have 500, right? And this guy will have 1,250. Now it's less than a 3 times difference, right? And so basically, when you get kills, you've got an advantage, and that comparative advantage will decrease as you get more income. I mean, my maths, I could have done it a bit better there, right? I mean, it's easier to do if you say, let's say, this guy had no points and this guy was up 500, right? Then this guy, after a minute, this guy would be on 250, this guy would be on 750. That's a 3 times difference. After 2 minutes, this guy would be on 500. This guy would be on 1,000, which is a 2 times difference. Do you see the comparative advantage shrinks because they're both getting the same income? So he shouldn't have sat around here. This is a big mistake. It's making me anxious to watch it. He just got a bunch of kills, and he should have immediately rotated around and attacked here. And what he should have been doing while this was happening is attacking here. Sadly, he's just fed a MiG-29 there to try and kill this Chinook, which he knows there's AA here because he got shot by it before, and he got kind of lucky last time, so he shouldn't have done that, really. It's too far away. But yeah, he's building up, even though he's throwing away his advantage, basically. It's big sad. It's big sad. Like, all of this is just sat around not doing anything. It's really depressing. So, this should have loaded this back up, should have loaded this back up, should have loaded the Iglas back up. Leave one BMP2 if you want. And then just rotate all this round. Got this up to here with an Igla behind it. And all of this stuff just sat around not doing anything. And now, look! There was nothing here before. Now all of this is fresh. All of this is fresh, right? None of this was here before. So, yeah, it's very depressing. It's very depressing to watch. This is a mistake a lot of people make, including myself sometimes, right? You need to know when to attack and when not to attack. I have the opposite problem. I need to know when to stop attacking. All I do is attack. throw away my advantage, right? There's a good kill on that sniper there. Yeah, that's, I hope if you can learn one thing from this video, it's that if you just win a big fight, you need to capitalize on that as fast as possible. Do not let your enemy build up, unless you've literally got no units yet. Unless it was a Pyrrhic victory, which that was not. And even if it is a Pyrrhic victory, you should still go and attack. Don't just rush everything in and die to the one defensive ATGM position. But yeah, all of this stuff could have been attacking, and there was nobody here before. There was just these units here, right? And then this back here and this back here. Now there's all this extra stuff that he's got to deal with, and every minute that passes, it gets worse for him, right? So he knows that's there now, so he should be shooting that. And yeah, it's a very common issue with newer players just not knowing when to attack, not knowing when to capitalize on the victory, because obviously we've got perfect information, right? If he could see what we could see, it'd be easy, because then he'd be like, oh yeah, there's nothing there. Just kill everybody. Let's go in. So it's a very important part of the game. Just that kind of mental clock of I've just killed loads of stuff, right? I've probably got way more stuff than him. Just keeping that kind of rough mental tally, right? Apaches are expensive, Eagles are expensive, Totus are expensive, Green Berets leader is expensive, The 13-man squad is expensive. Right, there's 5 expensive things I've just killed. I should attack. So yeah, it's really sad to see. Because yeah, he needs to do something, or he's just going to lose a game on this difference here. So yeah, and that was his moment. Maybe he can create another moment, right? I mean, it looks like Blue's going to keep attacking. So it looks like he's just going to attack into all of these tanks, and there's BMP2s, right? All this stuff. These should be hitting the mortars immediately. Great, that's what they're on. And he should have put a CV next to them. He should have put a CV next to them and kept them together. This, what you can do with it is, because you know that he'll be coming from here, because they always do that. You just grab that, or you press T, click on it, click on the front of it or whatever, and you click return fire down here, and then when you release return fire, it'll shoot. And so you can put it like here or whatever, and just wait for them to walk into it. It's something to get used to, but it does work quite well. So yeah, good counter battery there. So you get 6 of these. That's just a knowledge thing, and so you got to do that 6 times. But yeah, and you know, he put a Meep Abrams next to it. This is a bit overkill because obviously he already got the other ones, but you know, he gets something. This would have been a better target, but he can't see it, right? So it's just, you just need to know that they're there, because I mean, he knows now. But the fact of the matter is, if they're smoking here, they're either coming from here or they're coming from over here. So yeah, hopefully he deploys the tanks now. Like, you really should just be able to clean this up immediately. Because there's nothing here. It's just infantry and 1 low HP Meep Abrams, low cohesion 0 vet Meep Abrams. All of this should just kill that straight away. And yeah, he's too scared. Like, you've got armor on these. These T-80 BVs, they can survive 2 TOW2s without dying. Not 2 TOW2As, but 2 TOW2s. 101st Airborne doesn't get the TOW2A. So that's another knowledge thing. So yeah, he could just be fighting this. Obviously, he needs to bring the AA up like this. Can just be walking across here to try and get to this. Pull this one back up a little bit. Oh, that HE bomber is going to be interesting. It's probably going to get loads of kills. So you want it on the middle one, really, because it's like a blanket bomber. He evac'd it the wrong way. He's evac'ing it over the enemy AA, which isn't fantastic. And sending 2 out, though, was smart. So yeah, he sort of messed that up. He only actually got 2 units. But because he sent this one out, the follow-up missile shot the second one instead of the first one. And that Eagle's probably going to die now. I don't know. I'm not impressed by these Tunguskas. I just don't think they're that great. They're really good against helicopters because of the 3,000 meter range missile, which outranges this at 2,800. Unlike the Rapier, which is 2,825. It costs 100 points. And then it just gets 1v1'd by the Apache. So, yeah, another Wriggler wouldn't go remiss. No, he's doing it again. He needs to stop doing this. So now he's flying over all the AA again. The closer you get, the more effective it is, so... Okay. Gets out. For no good reason. But yeah, these are next to the artillery to buff the artillery, which is interesting. That gets missed again. And, yeah, Red playing the defensive game. And, Blue shouldn't... For Blue's part, why is Blue attacking? This doesn't make any sense. He's got the point advantage. He should just be trying to snipe things, right? Take good trades. He should not be YOLOing like this. He's got the point advantage. So he should be, yeah, basically what he should be doing is trying to infiltrate more down here. Use his artillery, get the artillery moving and shooting constantly. Try and infiltrate more down here. And then what you can do is, so it takes a long time to build this up. You got to bring him over here, then jump this and just sit kind of like here. You get some AA, stingers, right? You get a bunch of other stuff, wheeled stuff, right? And then you make sure your air force is up. It takes a lot of preparation. Get them off of smoke. Get like 1 or 2 CVs. You know, 1 is the minimum really. And then, how has this been allowed to happen? There's so much stuff here, just sat around, not doing anything. Basically, Red has the open ground advantage, but he's really scared of these tows. You've got smoke. These can survive a tow round. This can't, right? So this shouldn't be the one at the front. This shouldn't be at the front. The tank should be. They can survive rounds, but yeah, this is not great. Like, this should be shooting that immediately, or just shoot, like, the Grad should definitely be shooting this blob here. He knows it's there because they came from there, and the ATGM's still coming from there. This man is showing his side armor. Just trying to make it fair, I guess. So down he goes, turret up there. I'm not sure what's going on there. If he was paying attention, he could have, like, reversed this way, and then it would have forced it to right the right way. He's eating some more rounds here. Loses that as well to the same Humvee. Katsia's going on the Humvee, but yeah, that's a grad target, that Forest, really. He's got... yeah, this is not fantastic. So it's worked out for Blue, even though Blue did the wrong thing as well. Blue should just be trying to be an annoying nuisance. He shouldn't be doing these big budget attacks when he's already got his lead. Because he should... Everybody here should have just died in the open to these tanks, just shooting them. Well, what you can do is... So you're getting shot by this, and you're scared of it, and you're scared of this, and you're scared of this. Okay, you just put it behind this building, and then you shoot them as they come down towards your zone, right? But sitting here, they can't do anything. Eating some rounds there. So, yeah, damn. That's rough, dude. So... Yeah, you put them behind this building. It's funny because I literally just played a game on this map on this side. I was fourth, and I was against 27Y. I didn't record it. It was an alright game, I guess. So yeah, you just put them here, and then he can't walk in without dealing with it, right? And he can't shoot it from here. So he could try and put somebody here, but this has the same range as the Humvee TOW 2, and it can survive a Humvee TOW 2 shot. So it looks like Red's counterattack is going into Elena. And yeah, like, this is a good grad target. These haven't moved, so that's a good grad target. Looks like he's just going on the mid there. Needs to move his stuff, needs more supply up. Instead of the Saperi, that should have been some supply. Hog goes down, and yeah, Red's counterattack, this is pretty cool. Right, so this makes sense. You've got a bunch of... Oh, they're still here. I thought you'd rotated these around. These are fresh units. Okay, well, you know, you can move these as well. If you're a mobile force, you need to get into the habit of, you know, being a mobile force. Right, infantry divisions don't really have that advantage that IFV divs have. So this one needs to smoke now, or you'll lose the guy and the transport. So 100 points dead. A lot of it's just practice, really. I mean, not everybody can afford to have 2,500 hours in Warno like I do. And I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. In fact, I'd recommend against it for most people. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy the game, but yeah, there are. Yeah, I think for most people, it's probably not worth it. So you know, this is my sole source of income, as I was speaking about at the beginning. I make money off the game, and that makes it more fun. So unless you're running a YouTube channel for this game, I think having 2,000 hours is probably not such a good thing. Maybe that's just cope, right? But look, load them, please. Oh man, he basically both players are just being overwhelmed by. Right, so he needs to make sure he evacs this way, right? He does. I think he's got evac Winchester on, so. Depending on your micro, you want to turn that off. Really, the cluster would have been better here, but these are the ones he bought before, I think. They just reloaded. Well, they must have been, because there are only 2 per card. These are the ones that he bought, like, near the start of the game. And so he's in here. This is not the way you want to go, because this is revealing itself to everybody. You want this coming this back here. You know, this needs to unload. Yeah, get it behind... Like, don't leave it like that. Get it either behind this building or behind this building. You don't want it there because they can see you. Or yeah, they can see you. They are seeing you. You are being seen. So that's not fantastic. This guy needs to hide behind here. So you turn off cover. You've got to turn off cover. So you click this twice or you bind a hotkey. I've got hotkey bound. That was not a good use of a MiG-29 in my own humble opinion. But I guess he had no choice because he did bring any AA in this push. Like, you could have rotated this Tunguska, rotate some of these guys, you know, they're not doing anything. Got a lot of forces just not doing anything. And, you know, you need the bare minimum for defense, basically. Unless somebody's, like, actively attacking you. But that's what your recon lets you know. There's nobody here, you know, attacking you. And so you rotate them around. It's just a practice thing, really. So, yeah, I mean, he's in, but blue actually owns this completely. It's weird, because those 2 bombing runs there I thought would have been a lot more effective against this, but they weren't. And red doesn't actually have a CV here. He's just got some units sort of standing around. So I know he's got a CV tank, so that can be useful here, right? You drive it up to here, then you get it behind this building, and it can resist artillery and so on. I do like the attempts to artillery that thing, although I guess I just missed. Yeah, so that's going on it. That's always a good one. But yeah, this died because it was spotted. This guy could just see it, or he definitely could see it before, and it didn't move or anything. You want it behind this building, or behind this building, and preferably with some smoke going on. But we know from the deck review he's not got a smoke mortar. So 11 minutes left on the clock. And yeah, the Grad's going on the Humvee. It's a shame it wasn't. If this had been hiding behind here, you know, he'd own this zone now, because this would die. Although, seems to be getting quite lucky. Yeah, it looks like it's going to survive somehow. Okay. I mean, that's just yeah. So it's because of where he put the artillery. So you see how most of the rounds are landing right. So some are landing around here, some are landing there. You want it. Usually, you want to put it slightly behind the enemy, because the enemy always will go backwards away from the firing, right? He's not going to run into you, right? So he's going to go backwards. So you always put the circle slightly behind the enemy, like 2/3 rule, right? So 1/3 on your side, 2/3 behind. And that's usually a good idea. And yeah, you really got to watch out with this reinforcement road here. You got to like manually path them here and then send them in. As it stands, we got BMP2s going in. Typically, you'd want the tanks out first, but I'm not even sure what happened to them. There were 3 tanks there. I think they all got artilleried. Oh, this is really not fantastic. So he needs a bit of recon. So like this guy, you know, this is what I meant about getting this up to here right at the start. I don't watch these games in advance, but imagine if that had been there, you know, would have helped now if he hadn't died in the meantime. So red needs a CV here. Okay, there's the CV tank, which is good. And he needs a CV here. That one's gone. He's got 1 BRDM2 left, right? I think. So it saves that one. These aren't shooting. These need to be shooting, need to be resupplied. There should have been a CV next to them to make them shoot faster. You know, this can be sold. It is difficult to keep up with everything. It's just, like I said, it's just a practice thing. And the question is it worth it? How much better do you want to get? Do you know what I mean? So... okay, so he's got this, right? So he needs a CV for it. I guess he can use this one when it gets there eventually, but right now his enemy's on +2. And so what he should be doing, really, is he's got enough stuff here. He needs to reinforce this load. So these 2 BMP2 should be coming over here. He's got 2,800 meter range anti-tank guns, and he's not using them. This didn't move after its last volley? Yeah, it didn't move after its last volley. You gotta always remember, otherwise you'll get caught out eventually. It's a practice thing, right? I forget from time to time. I was in a tournament game on Saturday, and I didn't move my M270 MLRS cluster, and it died, and that would have been so useful to have. Yeah, you can check that if you go on the VODs. So it looks like that was like panic buy of Chinooks to try and get stuff in, and yeah, the AA's here now, so that's fantastic. It's fantastic. Double HE, there's a cluster behind it, fantastic. So basically, you want to try and focus down the AA positions, and he should know. Oh, so he is. But yeah, basically the cluster should have gone on the AA position because it's a chaparral. So he loses 2 bombers there. He could have reduced his chances of losing the bombers by coming in this way, although he doesn't know if there's any AA here. So yeah, that was a nice idea, but he didn't really get a lot out of it, sadly, because this is still alive. But this hasn't moved all game. If he tried to arty that at some point, it would have died. So, yeah. Red on the ascendant here, and it's what we spoke about, but he needs CV. Like, where... has he not got any wheeled CVs left? So this needs to come up to here, and then rotate round to here, and then go in this way. These need pulling back now, because he's getting shot by a Stinger, but... yeah, so he's telling it to land. This is just going to shoot the other one. Okay. What's the grad going on? And you see, the grads, they are useful, especially in these like longer games. So Phantom goes down there. Air Rifles leader got gradded. So yeah, there you go, grad on that circle, right? That's a good grad spot. This is a good grad spot. This is a good grad spot. You know, like usually that was just miss micro. I think it's going to get shot. Oh wow, he's getting quite. I mean, it is 2 vet. Mr. Sophie here. Sofiev. So it gets plus 8% ECM. It's really paying for itself there. He got shot by a Stinger there before. I guess he assumed that the bombing run killed it, but that was not great. And if you put them both together, they both take damage from one missile, which is exactly what just happened there. So don't clump your helicopters. These need spreading out. This should be going this way. This should be going this way. This recon should be coming up. The Igla should be coming up. 30mm should be coming up. These guys should be coming over here, right? As far as he's concerned, everybody here is dead because he's hit it with so much stuff now. So yeah, here we go. This is going in. It's not really going in the right way. Either come in here and go in there with some smoke cover, or come in from this side because he's gonna have to turn here, which means he's gonna get shot by anybody who's here. And if there was a tank gun there, it would just one-shot you with your side armor at that range. You don't want two people in one building. So now I would move both of these because this is now a target because they know there's somebody in there. So what you can do is hide behind it, or you can move up to this one with the recon and this one with the Igla, something like that. Just always try and move one building after you shoot. Okay, so he smoked so he could try and get in faster, like he wasn't actually being shot there. You might think it's a good idea, but now he's got no smoke. And what else he could do is, you know, hide behind here, I suppose. But yeah, I guess he wants to get to the safety behind this building, but this isn't behind that building. You need to be over here. So cluster 2 out. It's going on the tank, which, okay, and it gets it, and it survives. So not so bad. Sometimes you might want to send the fighter with it, just so the fighter can soak around or something. And the Grad should now be preemptively aiming on this. It's not reloaded. This is reloading. Okay, so he needs to shoot this. This isn't hidden. This isn't hidden. He's seen. Look at the LOS. The guy here can probably see him. It's a tank, right? It's not stealthy. The LOS tool's a bit of an approximation, right? But you want it literally hugging this building. Usually you have to turn cover off, or it'll start... Like, there's no trees here to hide behind, but having 2 makes sense. 4 minutes left on a +2. Is it enough? I don't actually know. So you're sending the Saperis in? I wouldn't, because they're low cohesion, and there should be something here shooting them, but there's not. So okay, I guess it works. So maybe it makes sense. Yeah, there really should have been something here shooting them. So Green Berets leader goes down, and yeah, Grad strike here would be perfect, but he's reloading. And yeah, imagine if these had had a CV car next to them. But I think they must all be dead because he swapped into tank ones now. He's got 2, which makes a lot of sense in these clutch moments. You really want there to be 2. And then, yeah, so this is the issue with constantly sending guys into the smoke, that the smoke fades and then they kill you. But yeah, these haven't moved, basically all game. This isn't hidden either, apparently. This guy is looking at him. Presumably, I mean, I don't know how else he'd see it. Obviously, it says it's in the way, but he's been spotted by something because he's not behind this building. You hide behind here, you hide behind here, or you hide behind here, right? And then if a bomber comes, you reverse out because they're going to bomb it, right? Or you just like reverse around the corner or something. You don't just stand them out in the open and hope for the best. You want to be hugging those walls, playing with the LOS. You can use the LOS tool. I know it's an approximation, but it better than nothing. So HE bomber gets a kill there. I guess, yeah, some of these units, they can probe over here. What's over here? Just find out. Like, you've got 2 BMPs. It's difficult to micro that, though, and they've not got a big force. Right, so now... Okay, yeah, so now he's hiding. And this can just hide behind here, and you just send the supply up. It doesn't have to go all the way over there. But yeah, you need to be... This is what I meant about the micro, because you can just die to ACGMs. So really, the recon should be going first, and some attention does have to be paid. Right. So attack in here, which I don't really agree with, to be honest, but at this stage in the game, it's probably nothing better to do. And yeah, +2 with 2 minutes. MTLB going in there to scout. It's just on a fast move order. 30mm coming around. Yeah, what can I say? Like, this is the problem, but I don't think he was paying attention when it happened, so I don't think he saw it. These are in the wrong trans... No, they're in the BTR 60 PB. My apologies. This I don't think comes in a BTR 60 PB. And then with the grad, what I'd be doing at this point in the game is you just put it here with return fire on, and you wait for the Humvee to come up, and then you release return fire, and it'll kill it. So that's useful. And then, yeah, get these out. Use this in this attack. Don't let these men fight alone. Although the grad strike, to be honest, it makes sense to grad strike the place you're attacking and like lower their cohesion and stuff. But yeah, he's a bit outnumbered, mainly because, you know, his colleagues aren't helping him. So over here, we've still got that Humvee Totu. Like, which road are they using? So this is not using the same road as these guys, which is not good at all. It's actually using the road the last guy died on. Where's his corpse? Oh, but he knows about it, but, you know. So realistically, you want this going down the same road, because these guys being there proves that that road is safe. Because if they start exploding, then you use the other road, right? This is a tall building. This is a useful one to get into before you get over to here. Yeah, so this is going to shoot at him. I don't think he knows about it. Yeah, it looks like it's aiming there. Just wasn't fast enough on the smoke, I suppose, and now he's just driving through it. What? Come over here. Come over here. Come over here. Don't just drive into it again. It's going to shoot you again. Okay, well, it works for me. Anyway, over here, this is in. So yeah, this just needs to run in. Get the CV one back. Acacias should be shooting. Right, just literally just drive this one in. No, don't drive the CV one in. That's not smart. So he's taking this. He's on a +4, but it's not enough, is it? It's not enough. He'll be on a +4 once he takes that. He'll be on a +6 once he kills that. But yeah, it's not enough. So yeah, it's a shame. I mean, basically, Laggin Dragon won that game like 10 minutes in when he killed all this and killed all this the first time, and then he gave Blue the chance to get back into the game. So yeah, Hugh Edwards here claims another victim, and yeah, so they're both pretty similar players, I guess. So like 229 games, 105 games. I guess this guy really likes 79Y. I'm not sure. But yeah, he did well on like killing stuff, but just picking your moments, knowing when to attack, when not to attack. I did like the Acacia plays, but yeah, he could have put that CV next to it. And I guess it all stems from like, so if he hadn't lost that back point, then you know, things might have gone a bit more his way. So I think Rotherham Citizen here did a really good job of you know, keeping the pressure on, and not letting Red do anything. But yeah, I don't know about just like walking in the open versus 79Y, but it seemed to work. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that game, and I'll see you in the next one. GG.